So we are live now.
So नको बंद कर दूं उसे.
डॉक्टर नचिकेत लाइव है.
So I think इसके बाद बताते जाएंगे ना इसके साथ साथ. इसमें ये कल वाला पूरा पीपीटी है इसके अंदर.
डॉक्टर नचिकेत, am I audible?
हाँ जी. Yes, yes, you are audible.
अच्छा अच्छा, okay. I think we can start. We are already live.
हाँ जी. आपने देखा वो आ गया, मॉक टेस्ट भी आ गया.
Says mock test has also come. मतलब रजिस्ट्रेशन आ गया है. मॉक टेस्ट तो 20th को ही होगा. द रजिस्ट्रेशन लिंक
पूरे रूल्स आ गए.
हाँ.
So hi everyone. Finally, we are going to have a robust discussion about next, what is happening, what all is going to be, what all is going to happen in this examination. I have with me Dr. Rajat, and me and him are going to have a complete point by point discussion how next is going to basically happen. क्या ऊपर नीचे होगा, किस तरीके से चीजें अलग हो सकती हैं. And of course, in between, we are going to ask for his academic expertise कि कैसे next के लिए preparation हमारी अलग होगी, क्या हमें अलग करना होगा. But the main question right now is, when will next happen? And I can very frankly say that inside, I was expecting the date to be finalized in the last NMC meet, but the date was not given. Instead, I think a couple of open-ended discussions were again put out for us, and we still have no answers. So moving to Dr. Rajat.
I mean, absolutely correct. And in this session, we will also try to address some very, very pertinent points. If you're going to look at it, there has been a lot of rules that the previous draft has shared, and a lot of students, lot of bodies have shared their views on that, but they have not given too much clarity on that which rule has been scrapped and which rule has not yet been scrapped. So we're going to try to talk about this also. And I think Dr. Nachiket, let us start. And meanwhile, all the students, if you have any concern, any points, please share it onto the comment section of the group.
I think, Dr. Rajat, the most important question that many students have asked me is that how they plan to implement the basic sciences, because they have given a very good examination pattern to medicine, surgery, obs, gynae, pedia, ENT, and ophthal. We can see 120 questions we have given to medicine, surgery, and obs, and ENT, ophthal, and pediatrics. We have been given 60 questions. So basic sciences, are they only for 10%, or will they be given the full exam thing?
Dr. Nachiket, I mean, if you're going to look at it now, I always believe that medicine, surgery, OBG, they are meaningless without basic sciences. I mean, how can you even think of learning tables without countings? I mean, if you do not know the basics of, let's say, that boundaries of the inguinal canal, how you can even talk about the inguinal hernia. So, I mean, how it is going to be incorporated, that's a separate aspect altogether. But I feel that if a student is thinking of skipping the first year and the second year subject, then they're highly mistaken on this particular part. The first and second year subject, and if you're going to look at it, the present NEET pattern also, that the core or the rote learning of the pre and the paraclinical subject is no longer asked in the exam. All these are anyways clinically integrated subjects. Like you are the best person who has taken plenty of the examples about the integrated pattern of the pre and the paraclinical subjects, about how the anatomy is being asked in the exam nowadays. That means rather than asking origin and insertion of a muscle, now they have started asking about the practical or the clinical implication of the vascular supply of the brainstem. And on the basis of that, they have started asking. But if you do not know the vascular supply of the brain, then how you will be able to answer it? Similarly, if you do not have a basic understanding of how an inflammatory cell look like, how you will be able to apply it in your clinical practice. So, and one more point that I always keep on saying, that all these things look very, very good on paper. कि 10% ये होगा, 5% ये होगा, 40% analysis based question होंगे, 60% recall ये होगा. But ultimately you have to understand that all these people who will be making the paper are the same. I mean, so more or less, you have to think about this. I mean that it will be the way that the patient is presented to you in the hospital and how you're going to manage onto all those cases. I feel that the major worry that the student should have is that they have to be prepared, that instead of 1 day exam, they have to be prepared for 5 days stress of the exam. Not 3 days, in fact 5 days stress of the exam. You have an exam, I mean there is a rest day, but there is nothing called as a rest day. The stress is going to be there because exam देना है ना अगले दिन. अभी normally क्या होता है, स्ट्रेस लेवल बढ़ता चला जाता है, नींद नहीं आती है और आपको लगता है चलो यार आज का एग्जाम देके खत्म करना है. यहाँ तो अभी नींद नहीं आएगी, एग्जाम दोगे, पता चला अगले दिन रेस्ट लेके फिर एक दिन बार दोबारा एग्जाम देना है, फिर दोबारा एग्जाम देना है. So you have to prepare for that front, and I think that is a very, very big challenge that the student is going to be facing. So you have to tune, you have to custom yourself according to those scenarios. And the second
So
is,
are you happy with this pattern of examination? This is my major question. As an academician, are you happy with this pattern of examination?
see, there is a one very point when I was going through the webinar na, so I have looked at the NMC chairman also, and every time he has said that they are concerned about the students, they want to reduce the stress. So that means at least the good part that is coming up is that the government is also thinking. I mean, at least they are mentioning this particular point. I know that there have been a lot of challenges on this particular front, but if I'm going to look at it, if you ask me that whether the exam like NExT should happen, I say yes, the exam should happen, but it should be more organized. My biggest worry is the way that they are being put to students. It should be more organized. It should be put in a proper black and white zone. I mean, a lot of gray zones are happening. I mean, if they have to conduct an exam for 2019, why don't they simply say single point at one place that this exam is going to happen on this particular date and this is going to be there? Why they are just beating around the bush? अभी भी clarity नहीं दी. अभी we are just predicting कि नवंबर में नहीं होगा, मई में होगा next year. But why can't they simply say it in one PPT slide that 2019 batch will be writing the exam? The exam will be in May 2024. Why can't they simply say it in one PPT? Why can't they simply say it in one PPT that the interns and the post-intern will be writing the NEET exam? The NEET exam is going to be in the late January or early February or March or whatever. But why can't they simply put it? My major concern is this, that there are a lot of gray zones. Why it cannot be put it into the black and white? I believe that I know our students. Whatever exam pattern that you're going to give, it will bring apprehension, but everybody will be prepared for it. And everybody is going to come out with the flying colors, irrespective of the pattern exam that you're going to give to them. Any new pattern is going to bring an apprehension, but give one pattern. ये confusions को हटाओ. That is my.
I am totally in favor of this thing, that this meeting was a severe disappointment. It should have been a more of a decision-making meeting rather than it became a brainstorm.
Dr. Nachiket, let me tell you, I was expecting this meeting to be the same. But I mean, people had an expectation that they will announce, but this was broadly the discussion. Look at the good points about it. This is the first time NMC chairman has come in front of the student, have spoken about the student. We were fighting on this particular part that why don't you come and talk to the student?
Though it was confusion,
it was a one way.
इतनी ज़्यादा कर दी ना वापस से, इतनी confusion कर दी, 1 से 2 एग्जाम कर दिए. जनवरी में आपने कहा एक एग्जाम होगा, जनवरी में आपने कहा एक काउंसलिंग होगी, दिसंबर टाइमलाइन दी, and today you are saying 2 exams, 2 counselings and November और May में एग्जाम. आप कह रहे हो कि एनएमसी, मतलब कि आप सोचो एक बार कि एनएमसी जैसी एक
If you ask me,
ह्यूमंगस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन
if I tell you,
could not give a single thing.
students are not understanding it. If actually 6 monthly exam happens, this is the best thing that can happen into the medical curriculum. Imagine that the stress on the resident. The first year resident lives a miserable life in PG. We all know that. I mean, no matter what you say, that this is how it is gonna be there. Their misery will be reduced to 6 months. Such an interesting thing, such a good thing that is gonna happen.
Dr. Ek second. So, guys, we are having a discussion. What I expect from each one of you is that we are going to put out our thoughts. If you like our thoughts, put it in the comment section. We will aggregate the points that you have. We will aggregate the point that you like from us, and we will send it to the NMC. We will try to do our best also. Because yes, we both agree on something, but we both also disagree on some things. All right. I, for one, I believe in clarity of thought. If NMC had come right now and given me at least a date of the examination, I think that would have been fair. Telling me that what plans you have, it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's not like that you are taking my inputs or anything. It was a simple one-way meeting where, first of all, they could not set up the Zoom meeting, and second, they could not give me anything rather than just one clarity, and which was that 2019 will actually give the next examination. Thank God for that. And of course, talking about one more thing, I hope that we have gone through the NMC website, the AIMS website. They have launched the mock test registration. The worst part is that they are charging money for it, and I believe for a single examination, 2,000 rupees is too much. इतना हम और डांस भी चार्ज नहीं करते. अगर हम भी एक मॉक टेस्ट करवाते तो हम 500 रुपए ही चार्ज करते हैं. 500 रुपए से ज्यादा तो बनता ही नहीं था. So I believe in this thing. 2,000 rupees is a very unfair ask from NMC, and I do believe that they have launched negative marking also. So we have two clarities, guys, that from this NMC webinar. One, 2019 batch. Second, negative marking shall be a part of the next one batch. Dr. Rajat, are you there?
Yes, I'm here only.
अब सर सबसे बड़ा एक बहुत मेरा सवाल, FMG guys, if you are an FMG right now, I'm so sorry, but we do not have any kind of clarity on FMG. They did not even touch the subject of FMG in the meeting. Again, a very unfair thing. But talking about the post interns and post interns, they have used a very, very legally correct term which they have stated. There might be an interim option for the seniors, that is 18 and senior batches, to appear for NEET PG. Sir, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, can you come up with a question again?
Basically,
I just finished so I'm slightly having my dinner. That's the challenge.
Basically, what they have said, they have very sneakily said that in the whole process, that 2018 and senior batches will have an interim option of appearing for NEET PG. Okay, so everything is probable. There is no statement that is being given. So what do you think? Will the interns and post-interns, 18 and senior batches, have NEET PG, or will it be next only?
No, that will definitely NEET PG. There is no doubt about it. I think one more point is, please understand, and that I want students also to understand, that this decision has been taken. I mean, this was already in discussion for last so many months. And in fact, in the previous draft also, they have said the same point, that they want to conduct this exam for 2019 batch. And the previous batch will continue to have the NEET exam for a few more years till they're able to streamline it. They have just put it as the same way. The point is that they have not just exactly said the statement. What they say, that the other students, they have not put Indian medical graduate or the intern or post-intern. They say other students have an option of writing other exam. That is, so they have put it other onto this point. But I think they have made it quite clear that there will be a NEET exam. And in fact, if you see that they have mentioned a date also, that they say, okay, January or February or whenever we conduct it. So that means that's a broad date that is already there in their mind, that they will be having a NEET PG exam for the students. Now, The point that they have mentioned, which I have yet to figure out, is they said that they have an option that interns and the post-intern, if they want to write the next exam, they can do that also.
This is bullshit. How can one person prepare for, say that कि मेरे 2 exam होने वाले?
No. They are saying that in January, you write an exam, you're going to get a result in the February. Let's say you're not satisfied with your result. And now you're preparing again. You have an option of writing the next. But I think that what they wanted to say is that not for 24, for 25. Because ultimately the result of this 24 will be applicable in 25.
Sir, हर लीगल स्टेटमेंट में एक छोटा छोटा वो गोगा सर कहते हैं ना, वो कॉमा का कितना बड़ा वो होता है, वही वाली टोटल बात है सारी की सारी. तो अच्छा, this is now the question of the day, the question of the year, that will be, will next one for the very first time happen in May 2024 or November 2023?
According to me, it will happen in May 2024.
Guys, what do you think? अपना एक बार just put your opinion in the chat box. For example, if you talk about me, I think I am more towards November 23. I don't know why, because
I'll give you a reason. I'll
Sure.
give you a reason behind that is because if you're going to look at it, there are very, very few institutes. If they are taking the exam in November 2023, now they're taking 2 exams, and that is one of the biggest reasons. If they're taking in November 2023, the only people who will be eligible to write this exam is AIIMS and maybe 1 or 2 institutes. Otherwise, most of the other medical colleges, because of many reasons, including COVID, are not finishing their final year MBBS before February or March. In fact, most of the colleges are even finishing it after April.
That's my question. If they plan to replace NExT final professional with the NExT, so that means every majority of the places in India, they are getting their final year over between January to February. So neither May पे फर्क पड़ता है, neither November पे फर्क पड़ता है. So if they do it in November, they might replace NICT also. They don't. I mean, AIIMS body is conducting. Why would they conduct 2 examinations?
I disagree on this. Again, the reason behind that is that this next exam is not to take admission in 2024. This next exam is to take admission in 2025. So November 2023 exam, if NICT happens, it is to take an admission in January 2024. The rule is very simple. जब तक NEET रहेगा, तब तक NICT रहेगा. जिस दिन NEET eliminate होगा, उसी दिन NICT eliminate होगा. The day NEET will be merged with the NExT on the same day.
AIIMS body अगर overtake कर रही है, तो AIIMS body, see, AIIMS has always been known to be a partial body. It's as frankly speaking. So अगर AIIMS लेता है, so AIIMS doesn't think much about the education, any other institute outside the central institutes. So why would they delay it to May 24? यानी सबको अपना, सारे कॉलेजेस को अपना फाइनल 3 महीने और खींचना पड़ेगा. How will that happen?
नहीं 3 महीने क्यों खींचना पड़ेगा?
आपका फरवरी में करिकुलम खत्म हो गया. नेक्स्ट इज सपोज टू रिप्लेस द फाइनल प्रोफेशन आल्सो ना. थ्योरी एग्जाम कहाँ होगा?
नहीं मतलब थ्योरी से नेक्स्ट का क्या लेना देना है, मेरे को बात नहीं समझ आ रही.
नेक्स्ट इज सपोज टू रिप्लेस अ फाइनल प्रोफेशनल एग्जामिनेशन. प्री प्रॉफ आपके जिस तरह होते थे उस तरीके से होंगे, बट जो फाइनल प्रोफेशनल है वो तो आपका नेक्स्ट होगा. सो आपका अगर फरवरी में करिकुलम खत्म हो गया, ऑलराइट, 1 साल मान लो खत्म हो गया, तो अब आप अगले 3 महीने क्या करोगे?
पढ़ो, प्रिपेयर करो एग्जाम के लिए.
एग्जैक्टली ना. तो बेसिकली अब यू आर नॉट, इट्स नॉट अ प्रिपरेटरी पीरियड, इट्स नॉट विद इन कॉलेज पीरियड. आपके मेडिकल एजुकेशन के 3 महीने पढ़ गए.
But the point to be noted is that those students who are finishing the MBBS curriculum in the month of February or in the month of March, they cannot write the exam in November. You cannot take the exam 5 months in advance.
But given that partial nature of AIIMS, I think looking at this thing, percentile or percentage, this is a basic question which is, I can say still unanswered, and I'm expecting NMC to get on the stage and give a clear answer. नवंबर में करके उन्होंने हमारे लिए सबके लिए एक और कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट कर दी है। ओके, INICT बॉस, आपका INICT का कहते हो कि जब तक नीट होगा तब तक INICT होगा, तो
That is what I,
नवंबर
but
इस
yes,
साल
I
का
think
INICT होगा।
मेरे हिसाब से होना चाहिए.
So guys, to all the senior batches there, I also believe that November INICT should happen, but there's also a word called probable here. Probably should happen. All right, FMG December hoga.
होना चाहिए.
Looks like it. FMG December looks like it. But 1% chance is always there, guys. So अगर तुम प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करना चाह रहे हो, प्लीज गो हेड स्टार्ट द प्रिपरेशन बिकॉज यू हैव नथिंग टू लूज। एग्जाम हो गया, बहुत बढ़िया, नहीं हुआ तो तुम्हारे पास एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ाई का टाइम मिल गया।
That is my, see, though, there are 2-3 points that I want to tell to the students who are genuinely sincere and focused about listening to these points. First of all is that none of these webinars is a reason for you not to study. They cannot give you a reason for not to study. There will be thousands of the things that are going to be coming in the future time. My sincere request to every student, yes, it is important, we have to identify this, but please do not give these your brain or heart a reason for not to study, because ultimately the rule is very simple. Anybody who's studying is gonna get a rank. Anybody who's studying is gonna get a rank, and apple is gonna remain apple, orange is gonna remain orange, irrespective whether it's a NExT exam, whether it's a NEET exam, whether it's an FMG screening exam, whether it's an INICT exam. तो knowledge enhancement तो कर लो बच्चे. Do not escape from knowledge enhancement. Get that knowledge enhancement simultaneously. Let's keep on getting clarities on this particular part. Keep on bashing other things here and there. But please do not lose your focus from your studies. You have to make sure that you are focusing on your studies. है ना? जो डॉक्टर नचिकेत ने कहा वो तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है ना. पढ़ तो लो, एग्जाम नहीं हुआ ये तो कोई तो होगा, उसके लिए भी नॉलेज तो चाहिए होगी ना. तो नॉलेज तो पढ़ना तो है, पढ़ने का कोई एस्केप नहीं है. बट यस, आई डू एग्री, पैटर्न आल्सो मैटर्स. वी आर आल्सो ट्राइंग that to get a clarity on the pattern as much as possible or as much as early. But first, now let us see what are the things which are absolutely clear. One thing that is absolutely clear, that the intern and the post-intern batches are going to be writing a NEET exam. This is more or less absolutely clear. And if they are writing the NEET exam, don't expect any change in the pattern of the NEET exam. It will be a 200 question, 3.5 hours. The possible or a probable date at this stage, if you ask me, I will always better prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Earliest exam can happen, though it cannot happen in December, but is in December. Let us keep a target कि अगर दिसंबर में भी हो जाए तो मैं ready हूँ. If you ask me, I feel late January or February is gonna time when the NEET exam should happen. That is what I am saying. I have to be absolutely prepared for that. No shortcuts at this point of time. Whichever place that you are using, please complete your course. The biggest challenge that you're gonna have is you're gonna jump to a short revision program at this stage. No short revision program, nothing. Complete करो पूरी की पूरी classes. कोशिश करो सितंबर अक्टूबर तक अपना कोर्स कंप्लीट कर ले. सितंबर अक्टूबर you have to complete your course. This is clear. Second point that is clear, that 2019 batch will be writing the NExT exam. That is also clear. What is not clear? In November or in May. I know there are varied opinion that can happen. I mean, but it should not bother to you. If you are finishing your MBBS after January, please understand this. Irrespective whether the exam is happening in November or not, you will be writing the May. If you are finishing it before December, then it might be a matter of concern for you that whether you're writing it in November or whether you're writing it in May. But anyways, if you're finishing your MBBS curriculum by end of the February, by end of the March, anyway, you will be writing the May 2024 exam. What should be your pattern? Please do not think I have got plenty of messages कि सर फर्स्ट ईयर और सेकंड ईयर नहीं पढ़ना. बच्चे नहीं, ऐसा नहीं करना, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं करना. फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड ईयर को पढ़ेंगे जैसे हम अभी से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. That we gonna change our approach to, rather than rote learning, what is the practical application of the subjects. We gonna focus on more of those topics which are more practically applied rather than just a theoretical rote learning of that particular subject. then this is a major change. Obviously, we will have to put more stress or more emphasis to the final year subjects, but that does not mean that we will completely eliminate the first and the second year or the basic sciences from our part. And that is how my points are there. युवराज बच्चे नेक्स्ट 2 के बारे में अभी बात करने का ज्यादा पॉइंट इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि अभी जो पहला हर्डल है सामने, पहले उसके ऊपर फोकस करते हैं. नेक्स्ट 2 वी स्टिल हैव a decent amount of time.
I think next 2 के बारे में Dr. I'll just give you a little bit of information. Guys, it's going to be a practical face-to-face examination. आपके अपने कॉलेज के अंदर होगा, यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर होगा. All right. So apart from the 6 subjects of next one, that is medicine, surgery, obs and gynae, ANT, ophtha and pedia, orthopedics and PMR have been added in the subject list. Now this, my friends, is going to be a simple pass and fail exam. There will be no more ranking. And what all is going to be asked, it is basically an exam to test everything that is being done, that you have learned during your internship. So this exam will test your clinical competencies. You will get actual cases where you will take history, then you will present it in front of the examiner. It will have OSCE, it will have patient communications, it will have patient decision making. So everything that you will learn during the internship will be asked in this particular examination. And the important point to know is that even if you want to plan for USMLE, you want to plan for IES or any other examination, clearing all these 3 examinations, next one, internship and next 2, all right, is compulsory for every Indian medical student.
Dr. Nachiket, a very important point that I wanted to mention, which they gave a clarity. Trade with Akash has asked it. If someone clear 3 subjects in the May, then he should give all the 6 subjects or left 3 in November. So I still remember I was taking a class in Delhi and we were having a session on the draft guidelines have come at that point of time. So few of the students, if they are listening, they will be able to relate to it. They stood up and they said, okay, sir, my batch has decided what they're going to do is they're going to write the 3 exams now. And after that, in the supplementary exam, they're going to write the 3 exams. And now the total of the combine of the 2 is going to happen. And then they will get a better score in comparison to the people who have written the 6 exam. So there was no clarity in the draft guideline. But I think the LMC chairman has very, very categorically cleared that particular point. And they said that you have to appear for all the 6 exams. If you failed in the 3 exams, you have to write only the 3 exams later on. But your total score for the PG entrance exam will be calculated from your previous score. यानी कि जो आपका फेल का स्कोर था उसी के बेसिस पे आपकी रैंकिंग बनेगी, not on the basis of the new subject ranking. So I think that's a pretty decent thought with which has been come up.
और बिल्कुल आप सही भी कह रहे हो, बिल्कुल आप सही भी कह रहे हो, because I used to tell students, because in the last draft they had said it will replace your main score. So अगर आज आपको अच्छा फील नहीं हो रहा कि मेडिसिन का पेपर अच्छा नहीं जाएगा, मन नहीं कर रहा, आप फेल हो जाओ, दोबारा पढ़ा 3 महीने बाद दोबारा देके फिर से अच्छा स्कोर ले आए, तो it would have been, I would say, a little bit of a exam hack kind of deal.
So trade with Akash, answering to your question, bache, if somebody clear 3 subject in the May, then he should give only the 3 in the November. But the problem is that your NEET PG score for which your rank is going to get, that is going to be compromised in that particular scenario.
But Dr. Rajat, I do believe that they will get back average scoring. They have not said anything about average scoring this time.
No, they will not.
What will happen? I'll tell you. आप बात कर लो. What they will say is, let's suppose if you, for example, you have given next one again, then they will say that your score shall be X plus Y divided by 2.
Average scoring will not happen, Dr. Nachiket. I can tell you without a doubt that average scoring will go. I have personally written about the average scoring to every bureaucrat who's a part of this, to every minister on this particular part. And I am telling you that average scoring is definitely gonna go without a doubt. I mean, because that's a regressive step.
It's a very stupid step also. Yeah. But since they have not given any kind of mention even about it, I believe that क्योंकि 6 महीने वाला स्कीम लेकर आ रहे हैं, a very high chances कि students को to actually not push them कि दोबारा से हम वो कुछ उठाएं, दोबारा पेपर के लिए बैठें, तो एवरेज स्कोरिंग लेकर आएंगे.
I think let's take the doubts of the student. प्रीति, बच्चे देखो, standard book से better कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. Nothing can be better than the standard books. If you can read the standard books during your MBBS, you are already a ranker, you are already a scorer without a doubt. The biggest challenge, a lot of time people ask me, I keep on discussing it, coaching institutes are only needed to help the student who are unable to study from the standard books. It makes your life slightly easy. If somebody says, sir, I can read Robbins on my own, I can read Genong on my own, I can read AKJ on my own, I can read BD Chaurasia Snells on my own, I say, bache, that is the best thing. You don't need anybody else. You don't need anybody else. Why we are needed? We are a helping hand. We are a supporting hand. If you are unable to read it on your own. आज की एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. मेरी क्लास चल रही थी. I had to finish a topic. And the class was slightly delayed. We were supposed to finish the class at 7:30, but my topic was delayed. So I said, okay, I will finish it. Student said, "नहीं sir, please खत्म कर दो." मैं कहा नहीं, मेरे को topic complete करना है. I have to complete this particular topic, and then we took 1 hour extra and we completed the topic by 8:30. This is a helping hand. Otherwise, what majority of the student would have done? They would have closed the books at 7:30, and that topic would have left. So this is a helping hand that the institute pushes you so that you finish your important reading in a given amount of time. If you can read it on your own from the standard books, even on an institute platform, I am telling you, you don't need any of this. That is the best thing. But if you need a helping hand, then the videos or coaching support would be needed.
So guys, we are going to take some questions right now. And at the end of the session, the exam scheme of the next NOC has now also been declared. In the end of the session, we'll discuss that. Dr. Please take the questions.
Dr. Nachiket, I want to take up this question Diksha has asked. We are all talking about 2019 batch. We are not talking about 2020 batch. It is extremely important to address 2020 batch also. I do understand that 2019 is the biggest scapegoat that has been made. But 220 batch is also specifically the sincere students are worried. बच्चे बट देखो आपके लिए एक आसान बात है. वो क्या है? आपके पास कम से कम एक बकरा है. I'm so sorry to say this statement, but एक है. Your senior can exactly tell you what is happening. The biggest challenge that the 2019 batch is facing, they do not have somebody to follow. They do not have anybody to follow. You have. My sincere suggestion to you is focus. You are in a third year MBBS at this point of time. Quickly do your first year and the second year. And along with that, third year. And in the final year, quickly do the final year. That is the best advice that I can give you. If you say that your first and second year is already strong, then in the third year, quickly do third year and final year. And in the final year, revise all the subjects in a quick way. है ना? इन दोनों में से कोई भी एक strategy को ले लो और follow कर लो. Ultimately, the net result is that you have around, let's say, 17-18 months available with you. In these 17-18 months, let's be a master of standard topics that are asked in the exam. That's an easiest way that you have to go forward. Ophthalm and ENT for the 2019 batch. Yes. So Preeti, that's a very important point that you are mentioning. Lot of time people have asked me, I said that the only difference that will has to be read slightly in more depth. And when I'm saying slightly in more depth, please remember it's a link of ophthalmology and the ENT. You have to read anatomy linked with the ENT in more depth. You have to read radiology linked with the ENT in the more depth. Okay. Previously क्या होता था? हमें पता था कि भाई अगर हम ENT को ear, nose, throat है ना, और throat को larynx, pharynx और इन सब पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करें तो सबका एक एक क्वेश्चन आता था. अब हर टॉपिक के 5-5, 10-10, 7-7 क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. So probably your way that you have to read them topics slightly in more depth. But one of a very important point that the chairman has also mentioned is their aim is not to see what you do not know. Their aim is to see what you know. So that means they will be specifically focusing about asking the commonly asked things rather than the uncommonly asked things. So that is a very, very important message that he has given at the beginning of his speech, that they are moving towards those kind of topics to be asked in the exam, which are commonly practiced in your day-to-day life rather than uncommonly practiced things in your day-to-day life.
And their complete focus, guys, is to basically focus on clinical questions. They have now, in their heads, they are now moving to a USMLE pattern examination. So whatever happens, they are going to get a lot of things from USMLE and try to fit it in the Indian PG system. This is what their basic objective is.
Rakhi Chaudhary ka question hai, what should happen to the 2018 batch? But the 2018 batch is the current intern batch. So I think broad clarity is there that the 2018 batch will be writing the NEET exam. I think because a very important statement that the chairman has said is those who have already started the internship or already entered into the internship is going to write the other pattern of the exam. And so I think a clarity is there on this. वरुण काउंसलिंग के ऊपर उन्होंने कमेंट किया है the major counseling will be one but there will be another additional counseling that is going to be happening in the December for the leftover seats and for the mid-year seats. तो यानी कि बेसिकली जैसे एम्स की 2 काउंसलिंग होती थी ना, तब जैसे एम्स की जो काउंसलिंग हुई, अब एक तो एम्स की सीट्स हो गई, उसके अलावा जो भी लेफ्ट ओवर सीट्स थी अब उनको मॉक राउंड कराने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. वो लेफ्ट ओवर सीट्स इज गोना बी गो टू द 6 month. You people are not realizing it, but I am telling you, having exam twice in a year is a very, very progressive step for the life of resident doctors in India. You are not realizing it, but I am telling you, it will be a very, very progressive step for resident doctors. आप समझो ना, एम्स में रेजिडेंट की लाइफ रिलेटिवली बेटर क्यों है? क्योंकि उसके लिए जो वो स्ट्रेसफुल पीरियड होता है, नो मैटर व्हाट वी से, देयर इज एन अनइक्वल डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर इन द रेजिडेंसी. अ जूनियर रेजिडेंट इन द अर्ली लाइफ डज मोर वर्क, a junior resident in the later time of the residency does less work, specifically the physical part. They do more of theoretical reading. So whenever your junior comes, it becomes relatively better life for you. We have seen people frustrating in the life in the first year, irrespective of the residency, irrespective of the college. But the moment it has been reduced to 6 months, it will be much easier for you to bear this particular stress in the life. So according to me, I'm very, very happy of seeing this particular decision. But again, point क्या, मेरा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या है? मेरा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि गवर्नमेंट के डिसीजंस तो अच्छे होते हैं, बट इनका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इतना खराब हो जाता है कभी कभार कि आपको ये लगता है कि यार इससे बढ़िया तो पुराना पैटर्न ही चल रहा था. It has to be implemented in the correct format, and that is my major concern. If you fail first attempt, you can write second attempt. 2 attempts है. 2 attempts का क्या मतलब होता है ऋषभ? मैं सॉरी बच्चे, आई कुड नॉट गेट इट. बच्चे स्पैम मत कर ऋषभ, है ना? एक बार मैंने पढ़ लिया मैसेज, क्लैरिटी दे इसके ऊपर ना. देयर इज नो पॉइंट राइटिंग दिस मैसेज अगेन एंड अगेन इफ इट हैज ऑलरेडी बीन एड्रेस्ड. विल द क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड इन नेक्स्ट बी एज हार्ड एज INI-CT क्वेश्चन? अब आदित्य बड़ा मुश्किल है बच्चे वाली बात तो बोलना. अब एम्स कंडक्ट कर रहा है पेपर, तो क्वालिटी ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज गोना बी हाई. अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है? हाई और लो की ना कोई डेफिनेशन नहीं है. व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ हाई एंड लो? मैंने उससे पूछा, वो कहता है अरे इसको कोई हाई कहता है. बट द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट द एम्स इज कंडक्टिंग द एग्जाम, द क्वालिटी ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज गोना बी रिलेटिवली टुवर्ड्स द हायर साइड विदाउट अ डाउट.
बेसिकली INI-CT से भी ज्यादा टफ क्वेश्चन होंगे नेक्स्ट के अंदर. एंड टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक, एज आई टोल्ड यू, USMLE पैटर्न लेकर आ रहे हैं, so USMLE style questions भी लेकर आएंगे. And that's why they have divided this thing into the 3 sections: comprehension analysis, recall based, and problem solving questions.
Tomorrow beat the next course start. So what are the books should we read along with the live lectures? So Vaishnavi, if you are a part of the beat the next course, go with the faculty. Faculty is going to tell you that what are the additional resources that are needed with an individual subject. The single point that I always say to the students is that if you have joined any coaching, आपने किया क्या है? समझो, आपने अपना सारा स्ट्रेस इंस्टीट्यूट को दे दिया है. We will take all your stress. The only thing that you have to do now is to study. क्या जो आपको इंस्टीट्यूट बोल रहा है बस उसको फॉलो करते चले जाओ. I always say that ना, we are not sure about you, but we are very, very sincere about your preparation, because for us it is a profession as well as passion. Both the things are there. So we are very, very sure that we gonna not leave any stone unturned. So we have taken all your stress. Pattern, क्या पढ़ना है, कितना पढ़ना है, that everything has been told. That everything is our headache. What is your headache? to read. पढ़ नहीं सकते आपके बगैर, पढ़ना तो आप ही को पड़ेगा. You have to just read and leave everything else on us, है ना? तो if you have joined the Beat the Next program, leave everything on us. टीचर जो बोल रहा है बस उसके हिसाब से उसको फॉलो करते चले जाओ. That's all. है ना? That is. Dr. Nachiket, do you want to add anything to this?
बिल्कुल ठीक है बॉस. दैट बीट द नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम ऑन डीबीएम से लाइव. उसमें 3 सबसे बड़े फायदे हैं. फर्स्ट, the very first advantage to you is that we will give you scheduled classes. So you don't have to think how to get motivation. We are the ones providing you motivation. Not all the people who are studying from recorded platforms. The problem with them is, especially what was the 2019 batch, they did not have motivation till now. If you are doing very well with the recorded, please continue with that source. I'm repeating right now. It can be Marrow, it can be Prep, it can be Egurukul, whatever it is, please continue. But if you are not able to get motivation, you are not able to follow the schedule, then Beat the Next plan is for you. We will be covering all the clinical subjects, third and final year subjects, in the span of 4 months only. All right, in the span of 4 months. And it starts tomorrow, 29th of June, with Dr. Jai Surgery, sir. So if you want to join, you can WhatsApp me at 844-795622, or you can visit dbmset.com for more details. But this is your own call. First, evaluate yourself. Where do you stand right now? If you are going good, best of luck. Please, God be with you. If you are not, this is the right time to start preparation, especially for the 2019 batch. Because even today, I can tell you, exam can happen in November 23. Okay, because nobody right now is sure of it. Sir is also guessing, I am also guessing. Okay, but I want this कि sir का guess ठीक हो. Exam should happen in May 24, but NMC बहुत पागल है यार, हम सब ने देख लिया है. 2000 रुपए ले रहे हैं हमारे मॉक टेस्ट के, और फिर भी एक दिन का एग्जाम दे रहे.
Deepa, what is your question, बच्चे? Can you please repeat? I am unable to find your question.
Will November INICT have more questions? If November INICT happens, the pattern shall remain the same as previous INICT.
बच्चे, the rule is खेमचंद. बच्चे, the rule is very simple. है ना? एक बहुत पुराना saying है ना कि अब राजा का बेटा राजा नहीं बनेगा. राजा कौन बनेगा? जो उसका हकदार होगा. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? Anybody who's gonna read is gonna get a rank. Anybody who's gonna read is gonna get a rank without a doubt. From where you have done MBBS, from how much background that you have does not matter. The only thing that matters is how sincere, how focused you are. If you start today, you have 15 months of your preparation, you can 100% get a very, very good rank in the exam without a doubt. When will you not get the good rank? When you get distracted. When you get
I think
defocused.
for Anurag Rana, the question was, as a second year student, what should be my focus?
But you focus on learning the subject. That should be the only focus. In a second year MBBS, your aim is to learn the subject in a good way. And try, because if you're in a second year, first see that what is the status of your first year subjects. If you think that you have not read the first year subject pretty well, my simple idea is that in a second year, just make sure that you are well versed with the first and the second year subject. So by the time you reach to the third year, अब आपके पास जो फोकस है, आपकी काउंटिंग अच्छी तरह आती है आपको, अब हम आपको बहुत आसानी से टेबल पढ़ा पाएंगे. It becomes very easy for us to teach you tables if you already know the counting.
So what I can very well say, if you're in second year, your focus can be complete first and second year subjects in second year, third final subjects in third year, and final year only revision. If you start opening up final year subjects, I'm talking about the second year student. If you start opening up final year subjects for the very first time in final year, I'm sorry, but you are completely out of the race. All right. And I can very well tell you, for the 2021 batch and 22 batch, those people are studying from their very first year, guys. Very first year, from the very first day. 2023 batch has not started yet. And yet more than 10,000 people have taken e-Gurukul free subscription. So you can imagine what is the competition in the upcoming generation. Boss, matlab, bacche alag level
Dr. Nachiket, you have raised a very, very valid point and a very, very important point. बच्चे सेकंड ईयर का बहुत ही छोटे से पॉइंट में डॉक्टर नचिकेत ने समराइज कर दिया. इफ यू आर इन अ सेकंड ईयर, focus on first and second year. In a third year, focus on third and final year, and in the final year, focus on revision. If you have done this, I am telling you, you are already ahead of race. You're already ahead of race from majority of the people.
आई थिंक बॉस 1 मिनट के लिए मैं सब कुछ समराइज कर देता हूँ ताकि ना वही क्वेश्चन रिपीट हो रहे हैं. सो गाइस लेट मी समराइज फॉर 1 second. First, the next have given next will be done twice a year, May and November. The first next can happen in November 23 or May 24. We do not have the answer because NMC has not given any answer. INICT, November 23 should most probably happen. All right, but there is no clarity again. For post interns and post interns, most probably there will be NEET PG only in year 24. And post that, I do not think NEET PG will happen. Everything will be converted to NExT only. So if NEET PG happens in 24, it should be the last NEET PG ever. Yes, there will be 2 counselings and there will be 2 entry points as given by NMC into internship as well. Data, eGurukul 4.0 QBank. Beta, eGurukul 4.0 QBank is made for NExT only. All right, it is made for NExT only with questions for NEET PG as well. But the majority focus, if you even see the hashtagging, it is comprehension, clinical, problem solving. So we had the NExT in our minds only when we were creating it. Boss, we can take more questions.
Just give me a sec. Actually, I was looking at the other doubts.
आपको क्या लगता है इसमें कोटा होगा एम्स वालों का जैसे INICT में होता था?
Your voice is breaking a lot. I think I said at my end, I am not sure, but I can't hear the voice properly.
अच्छा, अभी आ रही है?
हाँ, आ रही है, yes.
So basically, do you think there will be a quota for AIMS in this next examination?
Quota in what sense? The internal preference you want to see? Institute preference? It will be there without a doubt.
नहीं तो है ना, AIMS partial, AIMS body is partial.
नहीं, I mean, I think reservation is a very, very complex issue. I don't think that, I mean, there are plus minus of both the things. I always believe that, again, the implementation is a major challenge. I mean, there are multiple aspects to it.
Sapna Kumari, beta, if you are using 3.2 and you have hard copy notes, is it necessary to switch to 4.0 version for NExT? मतलब आप ये बता पाओगे?
Which one? Which question, Dr. Nachiket? Can you please repeat?
Sapna Kumari.
Sapna, I am. अच्छा, एक इम्पोर्टेंट है, देखो अगर कोई बच्चा रेगुलर क्लासरूम प्रोग्राम में ऑलरेडी DBMCI के साथ है तो उसको बीट द नेक्स्ट ज्वाइन नहीं करना. Continue with that particular part, है ना? So don't bother about this.
Bhatia has been prepared for NExT for last 2 years now. So if you are with us, trust us कि हम जो तुम्हें पढ़ा रहे हो NExT को सोच के पढ़ा रहे हैं. और जितने हमने दिन दे रखे हैं, many students are calling me up and saying कि pediatrics को दिन क्यों change नहीं हो रहे? Because beta, we were not waiting for the next announcement. We had already framed pediatrics, ENT and opthal for NExT itself in the very start of the year. Because we both knew that NExT was supposed to come in this year or the next. So in any sense, we had to prepare our students accordingly. So our whole curriculum is NExT oriented from the day one. So don't worry.
Yeah, and in fact, if you look at it, I mean, even if I look at the radiology also, that even in my radiology class, I have significantly increased the component of radiology that can be asked in the ENT aspect or from the ophthalmology aspect and even from the pediatric aspect. In that medicine and surgery, anyways, we were already covering in much detail. But now, for the last 6 months to 1 year, we have significantly increased the amount of radiology-linked ENT ophthalmology in our classes. So we have already done that. And as I told you, that don't worry about it. Whatever that is needed to crack the exam, irrespective of the pattern of the exam, will be provided to you. But what you need to do, you have to study. And you have to read without a doubt. Dr. Nachiket, I'm so sorry. I can still not see the question of Sapna Kumari. All I can see is, sir, please answer my question. but I can't see the
Sapna
question.
Kumari ka sir question है, sir please answer my question. I am using eGurukul 3.0 and have its hard copy notes. So is it necessary to switch to 4.0 version for next?
देखो, changing the new editions whenever happens, there are updates. Now the point is, updates are always important because update is a standard thing that is asked in any exam. Now, most of the time, as a teacher also, when we do updates, we consolidate them into this. So usually what we suggest to everybody that if you have read it very, very well from a previous edition, combine it with TND, a new TND. And if a new TND notes can be clubbed with the previous one, that is the best thing. But if you're unable to do that, quickly go through the newer edition is always a good idea.
But if you still are an eGurukul student, you will get complimentary upgrade to 4.0, Sapna. You don't have to buy it again.
Her
Acha,
doubt is
education.
whether she should read it or not.
Okay, good point.
हाँ रमेश बच्चे नीट पीजी will happen. ये तो I think clarity है ना. I don't think there is much of a challenge in this. Should we start solving USMLE question to practice for the next exam? Aditya, I mean, there is no harm in solving the question. Most of the students are already reading the first set, but this is too early to talk about it. Let's wait for the mock test, how they are structuring the mock test. And first, let's focus on knowledge enhancement and the pattern of the exam. We're going to take care in the last 3 months of the exam.
I think, guys, I think we can now discuss. So beat the next ki 2-3 queries. So guys, for beat the next batch that starts tomorrow, you can very well visit tbmset.com for more details, or I am writing a number in the chat section. You can call it right now to get to know more details. All the top DBMSA faculties will be teaching in that batch, and we will be covering it within next 4 to 4 months itself. Talking about the mock exam, which we have got. So mock exam में बेटा सबने थोड़ा सा इन लोगों ने अलग कर दिया है. I'll give you a little bit. It's going to be a mock practice test, a CBT test, but a single day examination. The charge is 2,000 rupees per person. So duration and time I'm going to tell you. Paper 1 will be 3 hours, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Paper 2 will be 3.5 hours, 2:30 to 6 p.m. So basically a break of 2.5 hours in the middle. The first paper will have 120 questions. The second paper will have 140 questions. A total of 260 questions will be asked from you. The very first paper will have medicine and allied subjects, pediatrics and ophthalmology, including applied aspects of these subjects covered under first, second, third MBBS course. Post lunch, it will be surgery and allied subjects, obs and gynae, ENT, including applied aspects of these subjects covered under first, second, and third MBBS. MCQ होगा ये, MCQ with single correct option. Correct answer will have 1 mark, negative will have -1 mark. Sorry, correct answer will have 1 mark, negative will have minus half mark basically. Sorry, 1/4 mark. Yeah. So 1 mark for correct and 1/4 for incorrect, and questions marked for review or unanswered shall be 0 marks. So guys, this is the mock scheme for the mock exam conducted by the AIMS body. It will be on 28th of July, and it is my sincere request to every one of you, please, if you are a 2019 batch student, you have to give this examination. Please do not skip it. Go there just to understand and familiarize yourself with this new examination. Okay, Dr. Saab?
No, I think, my simple suggestion to everybody is that please do not get too much anxious. Please do not stop reading. Keep reading in the best possible way that you are doing. Do not worry too much about the pattern of exam at this stage. Let us wait for, let's see how this mock test is coming up. And I think we're going to get more clarity in the week to come. But please do not waste your time. And the time is precious. It's a competitive exam. No matter what we say, but ultimately any student who is reading is going to get a rank. So why you want to get back into the race? पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा ही ना, चाहे जो मर्जी हो, पढ़ना तो हमें पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा. So please keep on reading. Please stay positive. I mean, there are certain challenges. We know there are. I mean, that's the biggest challenge of living in a disorganized world, and specifically इंडिया में रहने के कुछ challenges है, कुछ advantages है, कुछ limitations भी है ना, but advantages भी बहुत है. So let's focus on this. Let's think about more of the positive aspect in the life, and the things which are not in our control, let's not talk much about them. Please do let us know that if we can support you in any form. If you're getting anxious, let us know that how we can help you out. If you need a support academically, do let us know how we can help you out. We will try our level best to provide you whatever possible support that we can do at our end. Okay, take care guys, do not get too much anxious. I think it's a positive steps that are happening from the government side. I know it was a one-way discussion that did, but somebody had the courage first time to come in front of the students and at least talk. तो अच्छी बात है ना. let's say इस बार वन वे था, हो सकता है नेक्स्ट टाइम टू वे भी हो जाए. So look at the positive aspect of it. The government has become, at least at this end, whether they are facing us, whether be it one way only, I do understand it was a one way, but at least they are coming in front of us, and every time he was saying that it is to reduce the stress. हालांकि मैं मानता हूं कि शायद उस वेबिनार के बाद स्ट्रेस बढ़ गया, but what every time he has mentioned that don't worry, it is to help you, it is to reduce the stress. That means at least they have started thinking about these points. And so it's a very, very welcome step. It's a very, very positive step at my end. I am always a person who look at the positivity in almost everything that is happening. So look towards the positivity that it is creating. Yes, there are challenges. Let's try to fight those challenges in the best possible way. Okay, guys. So that's all from our side. Please reach out to us on Telegram group at DBMCI Premier Group. I think the link has already been shared. If not, it will be shared into the discussion. And do let us know that what we can do, how we can help you in the best possible way. Okay, that is all from my side. Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. And do not forget to give the exam. Thank you so much. Take care.